What's going on, y'all? You can see I'm sweating like a mother, not because I'm over, not just because I'm overweight, but because and it's hot. I'm on my way back to the Home Depot because if you don't know, if you're listening to my podcast, you don't know, but I burned well, I had a little grease fire cooking some stuff, and I recolored the kitchen into a black soot from the fire. I had the pan covered, and it had some grease from the pork sausage that we had the night before, and I said, well, I could reuse this. I was gonna make some empanadas, some things that we make in the Spanish community. And I said, I could reuse this, not that bad. But it had the grease, I guess. The thing was, I left the pan heating up, right? But it was covered. And since it was covered and I put it on like medium heat, I was doing all the other stuff, and I totally, I didn't see the smoke until it was already super hot. So when I saw that it was super hot, I turned the stove off, right? And when I turned it off, it went poof, right? It just engulfed. I was like, oh shit, and I freaked out, and I said, oh my God, I am not gonna lose my house. I just bought this house. So I did error number one in a grease fire. I took it and I put it over to the sink, and it freaking, I put it to the sink, and what we naturally tend to do when we see a fire. If you see a fire, right, and if there's a fire in front of you, there's nobody around, the firefighters, it's just you, right? You and the fire. A decent, a fire, whatever's burning, your first instinct, if you have it, is to put water on it. We see fire, we think water immediately. So what did I do? Turn the water on. Big mistake. That thing was like backdraft. I mean, flame. Right? I was like, oh, the curtain went up in a second. Gone. The blinds melted. Luckily, nothing burned. My kids were screaming fire. The smoke detectors going off like crazy. And we got those smoke detectors connected to the power of the house, right? Going to the battery of the power of the house. So, and there's those smart smoke detectors. You can't just shut it off like the old school ones with the batteries, where like you're like, all right, I want it to shut off. Let me take the battery out while I fix it, then put the battery back in. That's not how these work. These will turn off when that smoke is gone. Once that smoke is finished, they'll turn off. So they were going off for a minute, and it was like 10 o'clock at night. And the whole neighborhood sleeping, and I got my doors open. There's smoke coming out of the house. I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, my kitchen. You already know. My kitchen. That's what it looked like. And so my wife came. We cleaned the kitchen yesterday. We cleaned it completely because it happened before yesterday. So yesterday we cleaned the kitchen. We bought a bunch of cleaning stuff. We cleaned the hell out the kitchen. And then, but the black, as you saw, was still on the wall. That soot, from the and I think, and it was from the curtain, from the curtain burning. That black, stayed on the walls. And I have white walls, semi-gloss walls, semi-gloss white in my kitchen, and then flat white on and there's a division in my dining room because it's connected. And so I gotta get that off. So I try to do it with chemicals. I YouTubed, everything YouTube. I YouTubed how to do it, and a lot of people were using this detergent, Simple Green, and all this. So I went and bought all that stuff. I bought $47 worth of chemicals, and stick and extensions and all kinds of shit, and went over to freaking, try to get that clean. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. It didn't work. What I ended up doing is I mixed, I did the Tim Taylor, I could make my own chemical that'll take this right off. So I started mixing, a bunch of stuff, bunch of chemicals, you know, like I never went to science. Started mixing a bunch of chemicals, put it together, and what it ended up doing was peeling paint off the wall. Like I'm more motivated. I was like, you know what? Because my wife was like, look, just scrub it with soap and water, get what you can off, and then we'll paint over it. A lot of times she thinks more logically than me. I say a lot of times because sometimes I do. So that's not the reason why I haven't made any videos. I've been busy doing this. But so I'm gonna go ahead and paint. I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna go get the paint. I gotta get 2 different types of paint. Paint's super expensive over there. I hate that where I'm going, but I got no choice. It's Sunday, you know. At Lowe's, it's like Lowe's charges like their paint's made out of cocaine or something. You know what I mean? Like, but Home Depot's cheaper. But I gotta go to Lowe's to exchange this thing, the blinds, because we bought new blinds, but we got the wrong size, and I gotta go exchange the blinds. So that's what I'm doing, man. I gotta go exchange the blinds. Wow, that's a nice bike. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. And in this case, I'm not gonna say I'll see you on the next smoke, because smoke is what I'm trying to get off of my walls. That smoke residue, that black smoke. Man, you gotta love it, man. Fuck it. I'll see you on the next smoke, man.